Is it really that hard?
You are a natural born public speaker, and that's a fact.
Do you actually feel guilty of what you just told to feel guilty?
Focus on actually what we can do.
Point it out and show it to me.
You have the freedom to do what you want to and be what you want to in America.
What are we going to do about it?
What oppressed me?
Just saying.
So the CRT stuff is BS.
What is the dealio, folkio? So look, listen to this. I want y'all to, I was in with a patient last week. And while I was, pretty much, anyway, I was with the patient. And while being with the patient, I noticed that Judge Mathis was on. And then while, questioning my patient about some certain things, I noticed that he just started talking about something that caught my ear. I want y'all to listen to this. But while listening to this, I am going to be pausing this video because he made so many great points in here that I think a lot of folks need to hear. Okay, so roll with me on this. Check this out for a second. Watch this. Let me move this out the way. I just want y'all to hear this.
Test.
I don't believe that the majority of society, their children,
Right.
feel lucky
See?
when they don't go to jail, when they're not a victim of a crime, when they don't drop out of school because the school is failing them, when the many other things that can occur, drug addiction. I don't think they feel lucky. They just say this is how life is.
See what I'm saying right there? Just like that. I say this all the time and folks get upset at this because a lot of kids that, like right now, you know how crazy and dumb it would be for my son to say it's hard out here for us because being black and, we struggle. Yeah, right. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm saying this for, is that there are a lot of kids that came up in good homes, got both parents in there that are black in decent areas, whatever, and still turn out to be exactly what this world is trying to make them to be, these so-called victims. My sons never had to know what it's like to not to eat. They never even questioned where their next meal was going to come from. Never had to question if they was going to even have clothes to wear or shoes to wear. Never questioned if they was going to be able to make it to school or not make it to school. Never questioned if they was going to walk to school or not. You know what I mean? None of that stuff ever came up. So what am I saying that for? Because there are a lot of people that are riding this wave right now that no matter, as long as you black, you're going to be struggling. Like you just going to struggle. It's going to be hard out there because the fact that you are black. But this says it so well right there that you can be actually in the hood, have both parents in the home and still do well because you got both parents that got a real father who's not going to sit there and play around and let you just do what you want to out there. I love this, man. So let me hear this again real quick. Just hear this.
When the many other things that can occur, drug addiction, anxiety.
But earlier this year, the DNA test.
Not a victim of a crime, when they don't drop out of school because the school is failing them, when the many other things that can occur, drug addiction. I don't think they feel lucky. They just say this is how life is.
Exactly. Y'all see what I'm saying? Because that's what they want to do. They want to act like when somebody comes out of something, it didn't even like right now. You know how crazy it'd be for my son to say, yeah, I came out of some hardships, To them, this is their regular life. You know what I mean? They heard them. Of course, my sons know stories about me and different things that we came up with just being with our mom for this period of time. But to say they came out of some type of hardship, or even right now, my sons never once ever in their entire lives as of right now ever came to me and my wife and said, in school, Dad, we have to work twice as hard as the white kids or anything. We have to work twice as hard. That's some nonsense, man. And people are just buying into it. So like I said, to them, my sons, this is regular life. This to them, there it is no struggle. This is just regular life. So to actually sit there and make it seem like that all blacks are struggling, you can ask them. They'll probably look at you like, nope, I don't get it. Anyway, let me let y'all continue to hear some more stuff he's saying here.
And they think it's like that for everybody. And so that's the point I'm trying to make, young folks. You're not lucky when you make it out of the neighborhood that might be different from a privileged neighborhood or a middle or upper income neighborhood. You are someone who had to live an exceptional life.
Boom. Most of y'all that follow this channel know exactly the stuff that I went through. Y'all know the thing. I've been told stories on there. I went around and spoke at different engagements, letting people know how I came out of the situation that I came out of. I love that because some of y'all get so upset when I said this very same thing to you guys. Y'all try to say, oh, well, you're different. You just lucky. You just happen. No, I keep on getting mad because folks just do not understand. Quit making up excuses. You know what I mean? Lucky? No, there is no lucky. It just, that was me. I decided to want to do the right thing. I asked questions. I consulted in people. I just went around asking questions. If I wanted to get out of a certain situation or do certain thing, I asked the questions. I work on my own cars. Okay. Guess how I find out how to, like, before there was a YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or any of this social media, guess how I found out how to do some stuff on my cars? There happened to be somebody in our church who worked on cars basically since he was preteen. He knows a lot about cars. I went and asked him. Guess why I'm able to successfully do stuff on my car right now? Because I asked him, he showed me. It's that simple. So this whole thing, oh, you're lucky. I came out of some of the craziest stuff you can imagine. Don't sit there and throw no luck on me. No, it wasn't no luck. It's just that I pursued the end point of where I wanted to be. Plain and simple. So anyway, let me roll on some more on this.
Instead of living a normal life. Normal lives, you don't have to worry about that. Only lives that are lived and raised in poverty and failing school systems and crime infested, which is a result of failing school systems and economic deprivation, are the only ones who have to say, I'm lucky that I made it out.
See, and even with that, I still just like with this point right here that he made, I'm still like, no. No. Now, lucky is in saying like, you know, I didn't get shot or randomly beat up or stabbed to death or something like that. Yes. But actually to come out of circumstance because I decided that I wanted to actually do right school wise, stay focused and, you know, apply myself to staying really, you know, honed in on the track and field. Not being around the wrong crowd, not getting caught up with stuff with some of the stuff my family them did, stuff like that. Choice. But lucky, as in a sense of saying I was lucky because I didn't accidentally get shot by a drive-by, didn't get jumped by some rival gang that might have had some beef with my family or something like that. Yeah, lucky is in there, but everything else, no.
You hear a lot of other folks from a lot of other communities having to say that. So now I just want to stop you from saying that. Say you were strong enough to overcome the obstacles that society put in front of you.
Boom. Strong enough to do it. Everybody is absolutely, look, everybody is strong. Well, I don't have to. Yes, you do. See, that's what I'm saying. You just don't want to. You don't want to have to be like people. Look, y'all know I work out and stuff, right? People act like, oh, well, that's different because you like it. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like working out. You want to know why? Because I know that working out keeps me from actually being overweight, from having high blood pressure, from having diabetes. So yeah, do you say things like, oh, that's because you want to do it? No, I don't feel like working out every time I go and work out, but I just know what its benefits are going to be. Plain and simple. So again, folks make up excuses. Well, you're different. That's because you know I do not. Do you know this actually harder? It's harder to stay in shape and stay working out to counter what you eat versus just not doing nothing at all. So all this nonsense about, oh, well, it's different because it's easy to know it's not. No. The way that I do on the weekends, the way I told you, I don't lie about it. I get down on the weekend, but I also counter that with what I do throughout the week. Right. So working out, do I want to work out every day? Absolutely not. No. Sometimes you play so many mental games on I want to do it, I want to do it. Then all of a sudden it seems like circumstances that pop up to where like, well, now I don't even feel like going. But no, I don't show up to go work out with the feeling of thing. I would say it's probably a 50-50 chance every single time battling in my mind whether I'm going to work out or not. But then I always come to the conclusion that I know what the benefits of working out is going to do for me, plain and simple. So no. And what I'm saying that for is this, for people to say, well, I'm not strong. I'm not, yes, you are. You just making up excuses and saying that you're not strong because you don't want to do it. Plain and simple. It has nothing to do with based on how you feel. It has everything to do with based off of what the benefits are going to be. Just like people that take care of their family. What if I didn't feel like going to work every day? Do I want to go to work every day? Absolutely not. But what if I didn't feel like going to work? What would happen if I made my decisions based off of how I feel? Then your family would be struggling. You're probably going to be on food stamps. It's going to be terrible. Not going to be able to go on vacation. Not going to be able to take trips. Not going to be able to go out to eat, all because I don't feel, or I never felt like going to work whenever, you're a man, you got a family, a young family, you raising your family. What if you didn't feel like going to work? What's going to be the consequences of that? Not only are you going to suffer, but your family is going to suffer. Didn't everybody, your family suffer? Now you're going to cause some internal things to go on within your family. Plain and simple. So if you did things based off of how you felt, then you're going to fail. Plain and simple. Anyway, let's roll on.
That's how you should look. Say, but you wish you didn't have to be that strong. You want to live a normal life. Black folks like to say, well, you have to work twice as hard.
Uh-oh.
But to succeed, and no, you don't. Well, you shouldn't have to. Why? That's what we're told, because of discrimination and holding you back, and you're not going to have the same opportunities, and you're not going to have those same good schools, so you have to work twice. I've never accepted that. I want to be regular. I want to work regular. I want to work the same amount as Doyle. I don't want to have to work twice as hard. I want to be able to get off after 8 or 10 hours. I don't want to have to work 14 hours when everybody else is working 10 just because I might be discriminated against or held back. So I have to overprove myself. No, just let me work regular.
That's what I'm talking about, y'all. You see what I'm saying? See, I don't even know anybody right now. I'm just saying, I don't know of anyone right now that I've come across that's black that can show me proof of their working twice as hard. I don't know anybody that did. I know I had to do like ergonomics and stuff at Caterpillar. I know that your boss will come up to, I've seen this happen. I've seen people in Caterpillar will come up and they'll say to the person, let me do something real quick. They will come up in Caterpillar and I will see them go to white people, black people, Mexican people, Asian people. They will say, hey, do you want to work an extra 2 hours or an extra 4 hours? They'll say yes or no. They asked everybody that question. It was your choice to work overtime. Now, I don't know if you can't even do that. You can't go on a job and only make the black people work twice as many hours as the white people. Man, come on, man. But like he said, I know what he said. He know that what he was told. He was saying all this because they said that. But where does this stuff all come from, man? Look, what are we doing this all for? Like we got to do something extra to prove ourselves. The only person I got to prove myself to, number one, is God. Number two, I don't have to prove myself to you. You don't have to prove yourself to me. My number one thing is that whenever I get into this thing called like a marriage or family, my proof and what I'm supposed to do as a man is take care of my family, is to provide. That's what I'm going to do. Now, I don't have to go around doing up, flexing my muscles, saying, look what I, as a black man, look what I had to do. No, ain't no had to do. That's what as a man, whether you white or black or yellow or pink, whatever, that's what you should be doing for your family, period. Plain and simple. Everybody have different levels that they got to work at to get where they want to get. If you want to just do nothing but sell drugs, there's a certain level of work ethics that have to go into that. I'm just being real with y'all. If you want to go and be a doctor, there's a certain type of work ethic that has to go into being a doctor. If you want to be a therapist, a PA, a nurse, wherever it is, whatever that program calls for you to do, that's the type of work ethic you're going to have to put into. I graduated from a therapy program, okay? And in that program, we had to work our butt every other day. There was almost a test. What we learned on Monday, we were going to be testing about that. We were going to be testing on Wednesday with that. What we learned on Wednesday, we were going to be testing on Friday about that. Now, yeah, I was the only black person in that program. You want to know why? Because I went to my professor and I asked her, how come there ain't really no other blacks in this program? I wasn't doing it to be all black. She said, because you were the only one that applied. Now, did they select me based off black? No, they selected me because I put in the prerequisites. I had the grades, I had the biological background, I had the anatomy background, I had the physiology background, I had the kinesiology background, and I did really well in those classes. I was selected because of that. Now, going through the program, there's a certain type of work ethic that had to go into it. Did I have to work twice as hard as my white fellows, female and male students? No. You want to know why I know this? Because a lot of them failed. They failed out of the program, and yet I remained. So who had to work twice as hard? No, there are levels of work ethics that have to go into a lot of things. If you want to be a millionaire, you might have to put in way more hours than a person that just want to just have a, $60,000 to a $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 job. They do their 8 hours. They might be doing whatever it is that they do. That's what they have to do to be where they are. But if you're talking about being a multi-millionaire, different things like that, there's a certain type of mentality and a work ethic that has to go into it. Yes, you might have to work twice as hard because you got to put in way more hours, way more time. You got to devote yourself. You got to sacrifice some things to get there. That's the type of work you got to put in. But now, once you, like me, with the different degrees, and once you get those degrees and you go to your job, I don't know anybody that has to, in medicine, that is forcibly working 10, 12 hours every single day. Now, some folks say, well, Ty, don't say that, because nurses know nurses will work 12s, but they're doing 3 or 4 days a week. Plain and simple. That's it. Now, I know in today's world right now with COVID and everything going on, people are voluntarily putting in more hours, but you cannot force someone to work like 15-hour shifts every single day. No, you cannot do that. So no, this whole notion of us having to work twice as hard, blah, blah, blah. What does that even look like? I mean, you talking to somebody that came from not even having to go to school, but just chose to. I chose to stay doing my track and field and everything like that. Basketball, chose to stay with it because I knew it was possibly take me somewhere. Now to say that I had to work twice as hard, what is this? How do you even know that you're working twice as hard? When I got into college, went in there, did my college assessment, everything like that, I had to take some remedial classes. I'm not embarrassed of that. I had to take some remedial classes. I had to take some basics, some algebra stuff all over again before I got into college algebra. Now, what did I do? Once I got in there, I'm like, I think I got this stuff. I started going to tutoring. Went into tutoring. I missed having a 4.0 in college by 1 point. By 1 point, I got a B+, and I missed having a 4.0 by 1 point. Now, also made the dean's list. Now, how did all that happen? I had people that was in the same school that I was in, and they didn't almost have a 4.0. Am I smarter than them? No. It's just that I applied myself. I wanted to really have this stuff down packed. I wanted to really know this stuff. That's because I wanted to. Now, there was a time that in school, it's like, look, I don't even really care about this class or anything like that because this is not going to benefit me nothing. I'm not even going to be really doing this type of stuff. Like, I don't know why I need to know, geometry when I'm not going to be doing nothing math related. I don't even know why you need any of that in medicine anyway. If you're not, going to be doing, there is some geometry that goes into medicine. So let me just backtrack on that. But let's just say classes deal with civil engineering, different things like that. Why do I need to know that when it's going to have nothing to do with me? So I would be like, I don't care, dude. I like halfway study and like, look, as long as I'm getting a C or a B, I'm good. I'm not talking about in college. I'm talking about high school. In college, the classes that were geared towards what I was doing, just because I had a great interest in those. I wanted to really know their anatomy. I really want gross anatomy, microbiology, cytology. Virology. I really loved that stuff. I really wanted to know it, right? So I put more effort into being really, really knowledgeable in that. But there are some people that was in the class that they took, they might be like, I don't know why, dude. I'm going to be working like in a lab, and the only thing I'm going to be doing is testing blood. So I don't know why I need to know about, anatomy. That's true. A person that's going to be working in a lab, just only dealing with blood and testing different microorganisms, they like, why do I need to know about anatomy? I don't care. I'm worried about the germs. Now, I would like to know about the anatomy of the germs and everything. But as far as anatomy of the body, what's the point? So then they would just halfway go, look, as long as I'm getting to see, I don't care. I get that. So what I'm saying is that don't fall for this trickery that they're trying to use right now to deceive people into saying that people that look just like me, we have to work twice as hard. I'll be open to an open debate any other time, anywhere. I will be open to an open mic, not only like to say debate, but just a constructive conversation for a black person to come forward and show me and tell me how is it that they had to work twice as hard. What does twice as hard look like? And what are you comparing that to? What system, what structure, what's the word I'm looking for? What graph, what standard are you comparing that to say you had to work twice as hard? And what does twice as hard look like? What does it feel like? And who are you comparing it to? What person's background are you comparing it to? What white person can say, yeah, see, I only had to work just hard. You had to work twice as hard. And this is why. Here it is right here. I'm just saying, folks, when you do your work in school, different things like that, your teacher is grading you based off of that test that she gave you. That's it. She got her right answers right here, and she got your paper right there, and your answers have to line up with hers. Boom. That's it. There is no, well, you got to work twice as hard. Man, stop all this nonsense, folks. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Let me know what y'all think by leaving in the comments below after this video. I am Ty Smith, modern Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing, and I hope and pray every last one of you guys are in great health. God bless you through Jesus. What is going on, folks? Appreciate you guys watching. Do me a favor, if you're trying to get to the next reaction video that I did after this video, it's right here. But if you're trying to get to my own personal stuff where I do a lot of comedy things that make you laugh, can help brighten your day, then you click right here, all right? And if you want to subscribe to this channel, you forgot to get to know who I am first, all right? Then you're going to click right here to lead you and to the subscription. Make sure you hit the bell notifications to get notified anytime I post a video, all right? Peace.